Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 4 of the Super Metroid Rando League. We got a good one for you today. It's between PHMR Reunited versus Remember Highway. I am Apathy Duck, and we will be getting this one started very shortly. For those of you who don't know, this is a co-op week, so it's shared info between the teams. Teams are left and right on your screen, all 4 of the same seed. So they will be sharing information. It is vanilla map with bosses randomized, and also the items are full shuffled. So the logic is basically the same as full countdown, if you had seen that. But basically, instead of the game giving you kind of hints to where items be, we're basically replacing that information with the co-op part of it. So as far as like what's in logic and everything, basically the same as full countdown for what's expected of you, different things that you are required to do. But um, again, there's no in-game thing. We're using our partners for that. And we are off. So, like, pretty much every Super Metroid Random, we're going to be heading down to Criteria first, getting our Morph Ball, getting a couple, probably minors. Could be another major down there. Very early on, you definitely want to just be grabbing everything. For both these teams, PHMR is the only one with a win so far. They're 1 and 5, with Remember Highway being 0 and 6. They're in the Norfair division, but this being week 4, and like the Norfair division is pretty top heavy with 2 6-0 teams. There is a chance for these teams to still make the playoffs, especially if one of them is able to win both of these matches. I believe they're playing their second one tomorrow as well, so this is the first of 2. So none of them completely out of it yet, especially with 4 out of 7 making the playoffs. But they will have to go on a run, hopefully starting here. A little interesting, they send both runners down to construction zone. But again, early on, it like you just want, even if this is missiles, like missiles is probably the worst thing you can get. You probably just want to grab it. Like you just need stuff early on. Power bombs is very good. So power bombs here is like the one thing that you specifically want to have a plan for. So you only have 5. You want to send one player up to Billy Mays, and the other one, there's a bunch of other places you want to. You want to be able to check the criteria power bomb, this blueprint star power bomb, and you also want to be able to check below Mother Brain. You want to check 230. So having a plan to split these up is definitely good early. It looks like both teams have some sort of idea what they want to do. I'm interested to see if there's something valuable here, Billy Mays. We might have to see the other players turn around. It's an energy tank. So good for the Billy Mays players. I don't think Marku checked this, or maybe they did. I just missed it. Oh, no, it looks like... Okay, Baja was assigned to do it. The super must have come from... I misread that super. Also interesting, I didn't even notice this. Remember how it is going meme route? This is pretty good. Like having this many supers, having the E-tank. This is I actually like this call going this way. Kind of rare you can do it this early. I forget if Rogue was the one who actually went to Billy Mays and was able to. No, it looks like Shala, because that's where the second E-tank was. But yeah, it was just sort of like the perfect item. But you kind of want to have like an E-tank because it's not area. You actually have to kill the side hoppers. So you want an E-tank, you want the supers because you got to clear these, this area out with supers. You want the power bomb. Is a little low on power bombs now. Almost kind of has to sort of bail on these other checks here and go over to Edakun's area first. This always ends up sort of being the problem. You just kind of get ammo starved here. That being said, doesn't look like we have too much on the going this climb route. I also don't have enough power bombs to go all the way through Gauntlet. Can send one player to do front and have to end up resetting it, but and then send another player to check the back if you want to be pretty conservative. But that's just one location. Super restrictions are still on, so all it can really be that's really valuable is charge. But of course the speed or something. But it's just one spot and it's full rando, so it's much less likely to be something that whether it was Major or Chozo. It's gonna be interesting. So far, Rogue hasn't found anything. It's going to be interesting to see where Shala ends up going. We did get that wave beam, but nothing else. Wave's not required. It's certainly nice to have. Oh, Bart, never mind. Definitely going that way now, so. Meanwhile, Marku and Baha are right on top of each other. This is one of the problems with this mode is that because it's you can just kind of get forced this way. Like even with boss shuffle, like you would say like, oh, we'll definitely send one player to wreck ship, but it's boss shuffle, so you don't like Fantoon is pretty likely to be there. Oh, and there's gravity. I guess we have the quick settings on today with the speed. Well, that's I think that was gravity beneath. They just rolled right past it, but I think under the bridge was gravity. Yeah, the really stacked Brimstone. Not 2 seconds ago, I was talking about perhaps just skipping it for the other player, but that's definitely not happening now. Yeah, I mean, gravity, like, basically all we need now is a way through, and speed, so we have a way through, Meridia. The only thing we really don't have is a way through, worst room in the game, including the very difficult, jump. And we just need a way to kill Mother Brain. Basically, I mean, Rogue basically has the ammo already for Ridley too. Dragon's obviously killable. And it's a situation like this. It's gonna be interesting how they split it up. I think I'd send one player to. So if I'm Remember Highway, I would send Rogue to wreck ship, since they're the only ones who can really kill Ridley right now. So they can kind of kill all four, where Shala really doesn't have the ability to kill Ridley. Shala will be looking for Ridley ammo very quickly. So yeah, if I'm Remembered Highway, I'm sending Rogue to wreck ship and Meridia, and Shala down to Norfair to take care of Kraid and Ridley, and hopefully find something for worst room in the game on the way. Yeah, I was saying that the co-op can kind of neck you people into the same area early on. with this Brinstar play, but this Brinstar certainly allowed them to, you know, both suits. I mean, the 2 suits are basically the 2 items you're always looking for. And even those are somewhat negotiable. You can do suitless, you know, Meridia stuff. You can do suitless LN. Suitless LN this week would be a little difficult with the settings. But yeah, the suits are always the big finds, and you find both of them. And speed is another. Speed's probably almost a third thing, you know, of the things that generally aren't required is the best thing, because it hard locks a couple locations. Plus gives you, you know, one of the other, like, trickiest things to get through usually is the Meridia Botwoon hallway. So speed gives you access through that. But yeah, still gonna be checking a lot of locations, but it just may be, you know, not even so much looking for charge, but just like whatever you find first, charge, or just enough ammo that you're happy with it. But because it's full, you're sort of gonna be checking everything. I might start skipping some of the further out of the way checks already. Just kind of take the high value stuff. If I, you know, saying if I miss, you know, if I miss charge, so be it. Items that, I mean, there's so many items that get you through the worst room in the game. There's high jump, there's there's space jump, there's spring ball, there's morph ball bombs. So if you're just skipping out of the way locations, like, it's gonna be pretty hard for all 4 of those to be in a bad spot. All 4 of these guys are just in their various different. I've kind of lost track of where everyone is doing this by myself, but just clean up. I mean, we saw this Brinstar so loaded. You just have to full clear this thing, just get everything. It does look like PHMR is the first team that's going to be out of Brinstar. So yeah, if I was PHMR, I would send Baja up to wreck ship, because Baja's the only one who can kill all 4. But it is coming down, though. The other thing you can just sort of, like, maybe with this much stuff, it doesn't even make sense to do wreck ship. Wreck ship is kind of the one location you just want to, like, skip in general, if you don't have to do it at all. So with them being so loaded, maybe it just makes sense to skip wreck ship. Which I'm sort of now talking myself into being the. I mean, yeah, PHMR, they both have, looks like 30. Yeah, they both have over 30 supers, so both can kill Ridley. And this early on, you know, only 4 or 5 super packs away from even having Mother Brain ammo. So really, all they're looking for is a way through worst room in the game. Since I doubt they want to both be doing the double frame perfect jump. Yeah, I think I kind of talked myself into that. I was just thinking like co-op and clan, but you're looking for so little at this point. I mean, technically, like, you could almost, like I said, if your team was comfortable with that, we're ruining the game jump, you can almost consider yourself in ammo mode right now. Now, with ammo mode, you know, it's full, you know, you're still basically clearing everything until you're actually there, but you can certainly turn on the jets. It's also another thing, it's kind of one of the reasons I don't like average finish time, is that the best thing to do a lot is just, instead of like kind of splitting up the game and officially full clearing it, is the best thing to do is just like have both players do the same thing and just be right. It ends up actually being the most efficient thing. Well, there's our vanilla high jump boots. That's, yeah, at 13 minutes, PHMR is in ammo mode. Yeah, if I'm PHMR, I am turning the jets on. I am just trying to. I'm 80%ing this at this point. I mean, they have speed and height. They basically have 80%. You know, they have the wave beam. Remember listening to my previous self sending one player. But yeah, at 13 minutes, yeah, I'm gonna say PHMR right now is in a really good spot with this. Even, like, the best, at this point, the best thing that Remember can find in Wreck Ship is charge. But you can only find something in here if, you know, Fantoon is here. Honestly, Fantoon being here for Remembered is probably the worst case scenario, because then Rogue is almost certainly going to clear it. Oh yeah, that was one we had quote-unquote go mode so early. I forgot, not only ammo, but Mark Q actually needed that E-tank hard required to get their third, so... Going left here to North is almost a location I would consider cutting out. I mean, there's 3 here, so it's certainly very, very dense. Does get the super, which is almost the best thing you can find right now. But especially if you're struggling with that jump a little bit, you could just go, you know, you're gonna get, you can do 4 on the other side with 2 speed checks, 2 wave checks, and then you can just do the new route down to Lower Norfair. Marku appears to be teleporting. Did we go back in time? Oh. So yeah, Marku's like a minute ahead. I see what happened. Okay, this thing just got a little slipped out here. Oh, and we have, where were morph ball bombs? I didn't even see that. So much stuff has been happening. I suppose the one other thing, Baja is also looking for either another power bomb pack or ice to deal with the Metroids. With the variable amount of miners, sometimes power bombs can just be incredibly difficult to find. Varia really doesn't like giving you a lot of them for whatever reason. You can either have like 5 power bombs to the entire seed, or you have like 50. Like, there's nothing in between. Oh, bombs and high. That makes sense, because I got so excited about the actual high jump boots, I didn't even notice the other really good item there. Yeah, I mean, Marku is effectively 2 super. Yeah, at this point, you just 80%. There's enough, you can, you know, you got Fire Fleas, you got Hoda Ruby Missile, there's a bunch of easy stuff. In Meridia to check, you can check Main Street. Even like Crab Missile, like just, if it's a screen transition, I almost don't want to deal with it. Normally in co-op, you would, as a commentator, I'd be finger wagging for them being right on top of each other. But in this situation, I think it's completely fine. Honestly, in like this sort of situation, in like a linear situation like this in Norfair, you just want to have one of your teammates have a little bit of gap over the other one, so they can be sort of like clearing out. You know, so as long as you're both not checking the same thing, and it may even be like you're ping-ponging back and forth between checks. But like, especially like the situation they're in, like there's very little don't, just because they just need ammo, and Baja, you know, does need that one powerbomb plaque, like, unless it's a missile that's, you know, a screen or two away. Yeah, they're definitely sending, not even checking. Which I agree with, not going over to screw attack. Yeah, I mean, this scene's like really pretty. Like, with having both suits in Brinstar and Speed, and then like just having that stuff so early, it's almost weird that they also have this much ammo already. Because normally, if, like in that sort of situation, like you're like nowhere close on ammo. Because you know you just got everything so quick. But and there's why not? Just give them charge. All right, that's officially go mode. Come on. Well, well, it was fun hanging out with you guys for these 20 minutes. Yeah, it's I can't say that like even you know, even going back on, because it's boss rando, like it's more likely, ooh, well, dying in amphitheater would be bad. All right, Baja did save it, fortunately. Yeah, if you're not a new route runner, ooh, doing this room is very tricky. If you haven't sort of new route runner, or just sort of, you know, / just practice those specific jumps. Yeah, in a really bad spot, you can't even take one hit from the key hunters here. Also cannot, yeah, the fact that they only have 10 power bombs. Can't even crystal flash to get out of this situation. Now there is the, you know, you can do the shine spark method. But again, unless that's something you specifically practiced, it's really like a new route only thing. Marku also in tight dire straits here at 61 health. Oh, when in doubt, use your 45 supers. That's always a good option. Oh, very nice, nice dodge and shot there by Baja. All right, now that they're out of that immediate woods, what I was saying is it's definitely unfortunate for going up to wreck ship. Like, still not the worst idea, especially with it being boss level. You can just kind of kill that boss. You'd get a little bit of information there, although that information almost doesn't matter if they're a loadout. And even if it was Fantoon, you could just make the decision with, I'm just so loaded, I'm not going to do the rest of wreck ship, because at most I'm going to find charge, and we're close enough on ammo anyways. It's not going to save you that much time. But yeah, PHMR, they just sort of beelined. I mean, they could have easily sent one player to Meridia, which would have been, I think, a good call too. But yeah, like I was saying, in average time, it's just sort of like, I don't like it because it just reduces the co-op part of it too much, I think. Because again, the best thing to do is just like, you're sort of both playing the scene individually and then just giving that information to your partner more than working together to be as efficient as possible. Calling it information share is almost more sensible than co-op, honestly. But it really changes the dynamics of it. The one bit of information that would be useful for Baja here, because they're so low on ammo, would be if this is real. This is one of the downsides of being this close to each other, because they sort of both have to farm until the first one, because they're both really low, because they have to mitigate that it could possibly be Ridley here. So if one was able to be much further ahead and was able to check this, the other person could potentially skip the farming, or they would know they're required to do it. Going to Croc is a choice at this point. I mean, the only thing that's like quote unquote hard required is charge, and you're just so close on ammo. I think that's one of the biggest skills I think for these SN randos is kind of judging how likely you are to get the ammo by how much like of the game you have left. And especially like knowing backups, like even like the worst case scenario, like do I still have like criteria places I can check? Do I have like I don't know. Did anyone scout Backup Gauntlet? I didn't. The early on it was very busy, so I didn't see if anyone actually scouted Backup Gauntlet. But just like knowing about a super there could be bit. You can just mentally with a vanilla Turian, especially you just mentally it can add that to your count because you can just go straight through Gauntlet at the end. And of course, after all that farming, we have a Kraid. You can even see that Marku did come in here with only 13 supers, meaning Baja relayed that it was Kraid and just was able to cut off Marku from farming anymore. So Ridley has to be Meridia then, right?
Ridley's in wreck ship.
Ridley's wreck ship. Okay. Oh, I missed that. Okay. Yeah. They must have turned around. So Fantoon's at Meridia then.
Rogue attempted it, but I'm not sure if he beat him or not.
He died it, right? Okay. Yeah, four screens for one person and one tracker. It's pretty easy to miss stuff. But thanks for that. PHMR is going to have to come out of Lower Norfair with not a lot of health. These are the kind of situations where having a lot of vanilla experience really pays off. Because this is pretty much the standard loadout. In fact, this is exactly what you'd have coming out of Lower Norfair. You'd have just charge and wave activated, you'd have high jump speed, bombs, and that's it. I guess you have grapple here. That's the one difference, they have grapple. So their menuing would be slightly different. Missile's not gonna help too much here. Probably gonna just see PHMR. Honestly, what I would do, I would just empty your reserves. Because you do have, with 147 health, you have 2 hits you can take. You just need 3 health for a 3rd hit. Ooh. Well, okay, that's definitely not what you want. I would 100% you need to empty reserves here, just in case you get hit. because if you have too much, you can risk getting double hit. Okay, does get through. And, oh, well, that's unfortunate. Couldn't really see what happened to Marku there. Now, did they save on the way out? Did not. That's really unfortunate. So that's going to be a big time loss there. Now, this is one situation where you're happy about average finish time, because Baja can still sort of just finish very quickly and drag up the average time. So even if Marku ends up finishing behind one or both of Remembered Highway, PHMR can still come away with the win here. Yeah, I mean, saving on the way out is very risky because the Key Hunter sort of just lives in a very bad spot at that point when you're trying to go up. Like, even if you have Screw Attack, it can be a little bit hard to jump and Screw Attack that Key Hunter. Yeah, can definitely be. It's not technically a soft lock, but it can sure feel like one. Yeah, I mean, you have nothing. You can do it very slowly. You can sort of manip them away, and like, there's always a way to get out, but it sure can feel like a soft lock. So it very well. I like I said, I can't even, say that was wrong for Marku to not save on the way out. Just knowing how tricky it can be, but yeah, definitely unfortunate. I'm not sure if that was Marku dying again, or that's just more rubber banding. You know what? Remember how he's just checking too much stuff here at this point. Like, with what you have, there's no reason to be doing the sand pits. These are some tricky items to get. I'm not sure where Shala is trying to go. You don't need to go up that middle. You can just go to the right there. Oh, no. If you paid me $1 million and asked me, are those blocks over there crumbles? I don't think I could have told you. And then Shala doing it very quickly. I mean, I guess for like casually, you don't do it that way, but for rando doing those mid-air morphs, pretty straightforward. We do have Baja coming into Had the perfect setup for the X Factors and still just supered. It's always the dream of the speedrunners to be able to just naturally have these X Factors set up in a rando. Happens so rarely. Well, remember Highway's collectathon has at least them sprung ball. Everyone's favorite item. Thoroughness. I was looking for the word thoroughness and I couldn't remember it. Yeah, Mickey Mouse was Charge Beam. So we do see Marku now back at the Ridley boss location, killing Kraid. Honestly, the worst part, and not to rub it into Marku, but I've definitely been in this situation. It's almost worse in co-op when you make a mistake or have a death like that, because you feel like you're letting your teammate down. If you're just letting yourself down, then that's one thing, but and I guess that's always true in these co-ops, or the league. You always have teammates who are depending on you. But PHMR just has, again, PHMR's got two things. Just A, they completely beeline the seed. They barely even like I said, the best thing you can do is have both your players go god route it, and that's basically what they did. That and like Baja Blah is just going to finish so far ahead of everyone, it being average time. PHMR is still in a very good spot. Ooh, oh, we do have a, man, I didn't even know you could eye shot this flame pipe. That was actually, huh, well, I learned something. I mean, if you're gonna get the enrage phase, it's always good to have a plan of dealing with it. We do have charge beam and stuff too, so you can just screw it. A lot of ways of taking care of it. Also, we just have tons of health. We could just stand there and just eat all the flames. Alright, Marku is coming out. Does look like he filled up his health. Marku did take the save this time. Yeah, with this, if you fill up your health like this, you have the full health, you can just tank your way through that and still have decent health to get through Three Musketeers. Three Musketeers is also easier to just deal with by supering, and even though it might be a little slow. So taking the save there and just going for it, knowing you're going to take damage, and just running through is definitely a good plan. It's only when you're really low health that it can be a problem, but at 3 E-tanks, plenty of health there just to tank through it. How did Remembered Highway miss the high jump boots? Yeah, I mean, when I say how, like, I understand the mechanics of it. That feels like. Oh my god, we're seeing Forgotten Highway. These teams have a way of each doing something incredibly interesting at the same time. I got so enthralled by the lack of high jump boots that I didn't even notice Forgotten Highway was happening. I wonder if that's some sort of 3D chess taunt towards Remembered Highway over here. Yeah, you can. I mean, you can see Market, like, they went Forgotten Highway. They didn't go Remembered Highway. It's maybe that's a little brain games for the next one. Alternative strategies. That's a good one, Hacksaw. I'll have to remember that one in the future. Is that why you named yourself Remembered Highway, to try to not forget things? Strategic skips. I mean, that's technically actually a thing. Like, you can, you're skipping for strategic reasons. That one at least makes sense. I was debating whether you were called Remember Highway just as a play on Forgotten Highway, not realizing there's actually rooms called Remembered Highway, or if you did what you just said you did. This is now the interview with the third team member in text portion of of the broadcast here. Bao is now facing their Ridley. It's gonna be a pretty nice time for Baja. Might be sub-hour, honestly. It really should be called Frog Highway. We should have Forgotten Highway, Remembered Highway, and Frog Highway. This Frog Speedway thing is really ruining the synergy here. Actually, I'm glad you haven't actually said what you want your team name to be, because the fact you haven't said it means it's something probably pretty bad. Probably not speed gaming appropriate. Oh, off in the corner. Okay, that was the name. Getting an X-ray scope. I would say at least safety for stand-up, but we only have 5 E-tanks, so that's not going to be a thing. Baja is also doing a lot of these checks. This happened yesterday. I was commentating the P-Toil race, and P-Toil was ahead by a mile just from how the routing worked out. And did a bunch of checks and also did a bunch of memes, and I wondered if he knew it was average finish time. And he did not. So I wonder if Baja also doesn't know, especially with like the fact that your partner died. You have a pretty big incentive to just post as good of a time as possible here. And to just, you know, help drag up the average. If this was last to finish, then what Baja doing is does make more sense. Could potentially, you know, find a plasma or something that would be very useful for his partner to pick up and speed them up a lot. But with average finish time, you just want to book it to the end. Okay, that one I'm not saying out loud, Glove. Good lord. What? If you're watching this on YouTube, just be glad you don't have the chat up. Okay, that's all I'm gonna... I'm gonna apologize to Speed Gaming chat. Oh man, we got a bunch of sickos in the chat who are apparently into that. Glove, you've ruined the rest. I can't think of anything else now. Oh, I just realized, you know, I had said a long time ago, and everything just fell into place for PHMR. I forgot that Baja never actually got 15 power bombs. So he's gonna go back up the farm. This isn't even an area where you could just, you know, get the free power bombs on the way down. Actually has to go farm the Keikos. Manaka, you realize I'm also commentating your race, right? So you might want to not anger the commentator before that happens. Getting called apathy duckhold in chat here. I'm gonna call it again that Baja Blood does not realize that this is average finish time. Always read the rule docs, folks. It's very important. Oh, Maniacal knows what I can do. Alright, after all that, Baja just gonna refill out the ship again. I just realized that Shala also doesn't have Remembered Highway is dodging the majors like a pro. This is this is impressive. I don't mean to laugh. Their third team member is in chat. I think Hacksaw would give me at this point a little bit permission to laugh at this ability to just hot dodge these incredibly important items. For as much as they were full clearing, like, you know, going up to wreck ship and doing a lot of the stuff I said should just be speeding up, they literally turned on the jets at the worst possible time, skipping both high jump and charge beam. Okay, I've officially been given permission, so Charlotte and Rogue, if you watch this later, you can... Anything I say that's mean, you can yell at your teammate for. But yeah, that's... that's impressive. The skipping, like... I would say, like, skipping high jump is definitely weird. There's 3 items there. Like, it's just so dense. I mean, it is 2 doors, but... skipping Mickey Mouse is... Like, Mickey Mouse is a pain. And it's just the one item, like... Certainly just... But it's just, like... Yeah, Remember Highway has a legitimate argument to make that they're cursed at this point, and I don't think anyone would disagree. I don't know if this is going to be the most exciting race of the week, but this is certainly up there on the most interesting things have happened list. I just feel so sad looking at Rogue's inventory. Just oh, we did find plasma. We found plasma, we found spacer. We found ice. I don't know where any of these things are. These 4 players managed to each do something incredibly interesting at different points. We had the high jump confusion, we had the route divergence, we had the death at leaving Norfair. We had both of PHMR going down to lower Norfair at very low health. It was very tense as well. Yeah, we've literally found every major but space and screw. Maybe they're in Turian. And despite all of this, Baja's still gonna finish sub-hour. Like, we had go mode so quickly in this that, like, it feels like this is taking a while, but it's really not. It's still under an hour. Like, you'll see a lot of races this week will be go mode at this point. So. Rogue is attempting this escape without this is definitely a tricky one if you're not used to it. Hey, you know, I was kind of laughing when they found that spring bar earlier, but it's coming in handy right now. Honestly, even the way I have to do this, I have to jump from the I have to like make 2 wall jumps from the left and then up to the other one. Otherwise, if you're trying to jump from that middle platform, you sort of end up just too high too often. This is also one of those weird ones. So Samus actually wall jumps from her head, not her feet, for some reason. So like important to know in like Lower Norfair when you're coming back up in Wasteland with the spikes, you actually want to wall jump with her head because you don't want to hit the spikes. So the same thing's true here. You sort of want to put her head at that corner and then jump off of that. If you're trying to jump with your feet, it'll never work. Don't know why that's why the hitbox works. It's very counterintuitive. And if it's something you don't know, it definitely makes these jumps a lot trickier. There, Rogue got it right there. But you can see when Rogue did get it, he was low enough that it was Samus's head. The feet were basically below that tile. Yeah, I think gravity jump would work there. It's just you never, because you can do it without high jump, like, it's just never, it's not something that people generally do. Like a gravity jump should work there, honestly. Unless someone specifically tried it and says it doesn't work. Yeah. Yeah, it is slow. But if you're gonna go, like, to the point where you're gonna be doing, springboard jump, probably should just be doing the gravity jump. Baha is the first into this escape sequence. Honestly, if I had the power, I would invite Hacksaw into the commentary right now, just so Hacksaw could tell his team where I jump Whisper. I feel like it would be... It's better coming from a friendly voice. Does look like Marku and Shala are gonna be finishing, or did Shala not go back to Rook ship yet? No, they must have. Oh wait, nope, never mind. Once again, truckers pay much better attention to these than commentators. The only reason I would ever doubt any of our trackers is just because it is 4 people and it is pretty easy to miss something on 4 screens when you're tracking by yourself. But that'll learn me to doubt Paragon doing an excellent job today. Alright, and with that, we do have Baha finishing up. Did finish with the sub-hour time, which is, you know, any any of these randos, if you can do sub-hour, is a good time. This was obviously very much a jet seed with just everything being in Brood-Star. You can just almost go moding it, and then basically PHMR just God visioned where the charge was. But even if they didn't do that, they were so close on ammo. Really didn't matter. Chala is dropping into his Ridley fight. 70 supers. Definitely, I mean, the fact that Remembered Highway does not have charge, obviously, they need to get a lot more ammo. Rogue is in a little bit of a trouble here, only at 50-20. That's not enough to defeat Mother Brain. Now, if they're looking at chat at all, they'll know that Ba has already finished. Probably expects Marku to be finishing close, but obviously didn't know about the death. I don't remember if Rogue came through Red Tower earlier, but being at 50 super, unless Chala did it and there's no supers there, like skipping all those miners there is when you don't have enough and you're pretty much at the end. Unless the plan is to clear wreck ship here, like, I mean, that's always an option, but that's gonna be pretty slow. This might be one of the few times that, you know, like I said, when you're average time, you generally just want to rush to the end. But with Shala being a little ahead here, and you know Rogue needing this ammo, it might actually make some sense for Shala to spend some of that time finding these supers. Because anytime that Shala, I mean, it's time spent either way, right? So if they can split it up, they might be able to do it a little bit more efficiently overall. But Shala says, "I don't care about my teammate. And it's just gonna go." Okay, that is one. So we do need. Rogue needs one more super and 2 more missiles. So there's. Please pick that up, Rogue. No, you need that. Mother Brain. So Mother Brain 2 takes 60 supers. Mother Brain 1 takes 20 missiles plus 6 to break the glass. And supers do. So it's 3 super per missile. The only thing that doesn't to break the glass, a super or missile both counts as 1. So which really doesn't matter because you just always use missiles on the glass. So the bare minimum is 30-60. Plus you have, and even that requires you pre-opening all the doors and everything, going back and refilling. Like it's. Now I believe you can also save the glass being broken. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. I've never been in a situation where I absolutely had to do that. But that would save you 6 because you can pre-break the glass and then go all the way back. You have to completely. So I think that's why I tried it once. So you just have to get it all off. Okay. So basically, you have to spend 20 missiles to save 6, and then go all the way. I mean, it sucks no matter what. Like you're going all the way there. Yeah, this Ridley is not dead yet on Rogue's side. It might be dead now? Nope. That's not good. Yeah, unfortunate for Rogue right there. Yeah, math is the hardest part of running Super Metroid. Just don't do math. Yeah, just get charged at Mickey Mouse. Much easier. So... Well, this is concerning. Not sure what happened to Mark. Did they not have enough health? Yeah, it's a little bit of a puzzle. Took a bit too much damage. Okay, yeah, Baja on his third beer now in chat, informing us of... Baja finished so long ago, this isn't even, like, because of the 10-minute delay thing, this is just, like... You're not even in the future, you've been done for 10 minutes! Like, this is just the appropriate time for you to show up. Yeah, you still can't, but I assume Baja. I didn't check the room, but... You have Charlotte and Marku, both in their respective Mother Rain fights. I keep seeing... So Marku has Plasma marked, but in the slideshow I see the wave shots coming out. Did he lose that at from one of the resets? We didn't have Plasma. Okay.
I was pretty sure he grabbed it at some point, but his frame has been skipping around so badly that it's been almost impossible for me to keep track of him.
Yeah, that's perfectly... Like I said, I mean, just doing 4.
Oh, yeah. I've been pretty good with everybody else, but his frame is so stuttery that it's been hard to even know what's going on with him.
It's alright, Mark. We had made for some interesting, interesting commentary. Do have some sync going on here between Shala and Marku. Or we did for a second there. Meanwhile, Rogue finishing up his Fantoon nicely. Alright, so Marco's going to be finishing up here. We're going to try to get them in soon, with Marco's streams ahead a little bit anyways. So, looking at race time, Marco does finish with an official time of 1:12 here. Hopefully we'll be able to see it at some point. So, little technical issues going on. But yeah, GG's to PHMR. And Shala is also going to be finishing up here shortly. So, yeah, Marku's official time and race time was 1:12:01. So Shala does have a chance to actually beat Marku here. Looks like Shala will. Well, Leodoc's room can be a fickle mistress, we'll say that. And there we can now see that with that planet Marku is officially finished. And we are now joined by Baja. GG's to you. And Baja has now left. Yeah, Discord is, I've been having some issues with Discord. It's been like crashing me randomly, so... You know, I know he has nothing to do with it, but all these tech... I'm just gonna blame Elon. It seems fair. And we do have Shala finishing at 1:12:19. And Rogue will be forfeiting shortly, based on the... yeah, right there. So hopefully we can get them in here as well, deliver them the bad news about high jump. Alright, and the first one into the commentary is Shala. GG's.
Hello.
Hey. Baja was having some issues here.
Yeah.
I see them in the setup. Hopefully, get them up here for a sec. But on your team side, had the you guys had impressive ability to dodge the majors. High jump was vanilla,
Yep.
and charge was at Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. To be fair, charge wasn't all that useful. It wouldn't have been. I guess it would have saved me. I guess I would have skipped a safety save.
Yeah, charge for
charge.
you with your route wasn't too useful. PHMR beeline Norfair though, and they got it relatively.
Yeah.
That's why Baja finished like miles ahead of everyone.
Yeah,
because...
Rogue apparently skipped high jump on the way down, and I thought Rogue checked high jump.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the only reason Rogue didn't go to Lower Norfair on the first visit was because he wasn't confident about doing Spring Ball Worst Room.
Right, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, of course, high jump was... Yeah, there was just so much loaded in Brinstar early. Like, the seed was very jet. We do have Baja. Baja, you have audio now?
Hello, yes, hopefully this is working.
There we go. So I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Pito yesterday. Do you realize this is average finish time and not last to finish?
Yes. Wait,
Okay.
did I do something slow?
Well, you were collecting a lot of items, like...
Oh, I mean, our beam combo was so bad that, like, any ammo was good.
Yeah, I mean, that's
and
true.
I really wanted a third pack of power bombs, so I didn't get trolled like I did by the Metroid rooms.
Sure. Yeah. I had forgotten about that. I'd mentioned that early, and then everything you guys were in go mode.
Yeah.
It was... I saw you in Metroid 1 with 10. I'm like, oh yeah, that thing I mentioned like an hour ago is still actually true.
I know, I just couldn't find a third pack anywhere on Path.
Yeah, it was just when I was watching it was like a couple of the... It seemed like you were going maybe a little bit more out of your way than necessary. But I mean, it makes sense with the ammo. But it seemed like you were playing it more because Marco had that death to speed them up more than anything. So, but yeah, I mean, just you finished so far ahead that it was, you just dragged your average finish time way down that didn't give Remembered Highway much of a chance. So, I mean, you guys just, like I said, with average finish time, the best thing to do is just both of you sort of God route it, and that's kind of what you ended up doing.
Yeah, that was... We got pretty dang lucky this seed. Even like I wasn't sure at the start whether one of us should do meme route or not. We've gotten punished in some of our practice seeds when one of us goes with only 5 power bombs and you don't find another set, and you just like can't do everything in Big Pink, and that feels bad.
Yeah.
So that's why Marco ended up going up, and then like we ended up routing kind of the same, which isn't usually great, but it is great when all of the majors you need are right at the start of the game. So that was pretty lucky for us, because otherwise our route may have been a bit inefficient there.
Yeah, Remember Highway actually did do meme route. It's hard to do it, like, especially when you have to kill this. Like in area, you don't have to kill the side hoppers, right? So it makes a lot more sense to go that way. But here, like the only time you really want to do it is when you have like a super and power bombs and some health, and that's just what happened to be early.
Yeah, it was the perfect meme route start. Yeah, E-Tank Super PB is like exactly what you want if you want to do the meme route.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because, like I said, I believe Charlotte was it you? I think it was Rogue who went meme route, right?
Yeah, it was Rogue who did the meme route.
Yeah, so Rogue went meme route, didn't really find anything for a minute, and I was like, well, does Shala even go this way? Do you just go Red Tower? And then, like, right as I'm saying that, Baja, or Rogue, excuse me, found Varia, I'm like, well, you're definitely coming this way. And then, like, immediately after that, Baja and Marku found Gravity, and then immediately after that, they found Speed. I was like, well, yeah, you're coming this way. And it was almost like you were in go mode, like, at 12 minutes. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was technically, theoretically, go mode except for ammo after Green Bryn, that and a Worst Room item.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we just get 2 of them in high jump boots area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't...
Wait, what else was in high jump boots?
Oh, wait. Sorry, high jump bombs was there, too.
Oh, bombs were... Okay. Ow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I didn't think... I didn't think you guys were gonna... Because, like you said, technically you could. Like, you could do the, the pixel or the frame perfect jump even. but I didn't think anyone your
No.
teams were. So I was like, well, there's 4 items you can get, and then two of them end up being in the same room that like normally you'd never skip, and it's just like you said, I guess just a little bit of
I think I
miscommunication slash
checked
brain fart.
the credits space jump without gravity. So that's not happening either, considering you have to kill Fantuna Dragon and then go back for space.
Yeah. Yeah, there was some debate about whether like should you send someone up to fate, workship to kill that, and like normally I think that's a really good idea with but like you had so much stuff. I think what PHMR did, where they just sent both players down and sort of like split up that like one of them went to Kraid, one of them went straight down to Norfair, just sort of splitting up those checks like that. You had so much, and then you basically had go mode there. The really crazy thing was like normally when you get like item go mode this quickly, you're usually starved for ammo, but like everyone already had like 40 supers.
Yeah.
So it was just a really
friendly.
Yeah, except for power bombs.
True.
I mentioned earlier, like, well, you still want a power bomb, and then like so much stuff had happened with the death of Marku and like I didn't even realize, especially with 4 players on screen, a lot of times it's just like you sort of assume the one team did the obvious thing, and Charlotte, it was you were doing the grav jump, and I'm like, this grav jump seems a lot harder than it should be with high jump, and then I realized you guys didn't have high jump. I'm like, oh no, that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
So where was Spring Ball?
Spring Ball was
Wave Beam.
Yeah, Wave Beam. So like all the worst room in the game items were sort of set. Spaces, who knows where. But all the worst room in the game
Space was at gravity according to the credits. So.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Basically inaccessible.
Yeah,
no one's going there. Ice as well.
Yeah, I didn't.
Phaser were right sandpit, both of them.
Ew,
right.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a little surprised seeing the sandpit, just because there wasn't really much you needed. Was that before you? I think you already had Spring Ball at that point.
Sandpit. The only reason I checked sandpit was because I was looking for a worst room item for Rogue.
Oh, okay. Besides Spring Ball, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I ended up at least getting through those Norfair plays. But yeah, this was a interesting match. PHMR did have the lead early, just the go mode, and they kind of, but all 4 of you ended up doing entertaining things at a certain point, and so there was a lot to talk about. You guys are running this back tomorrow, I think. For Remember Highway, you're swapping Hacksaw in, correct? Charlotte?
Yeah. We're going swapping for Hacksaw tomorrow.
Right. And then Baha, are you running back the same combo, or are you swapping it up?
We are swapping in SAS for Marku tomorrow.
Okay.
But I'll be running again.
Yeah. And I know you guys are the two right now. You're the 2 bottom seeds but our division is fairly top heavy, so that 4 spot is still available. I think the top 2 teams sort of have their spots locked down, and then it's going to be kind of a bar fight for the next 2. So good luck to you. It should be interesting to see how this division plays out with those bottom 2 spots.
Yeah.
It's definitely up for grabs for pretty much anyone still at this point. I mean, only week 4, and like the top 2 teams are. Well, we're 8-0. I don't know if I think Chicago Bullies was playing right before this. I didn't see what happened with theirs. But
I think they took that one as well. So yeah, the top 2 are pretty much solidified. But yeah, anyone's game from 3rd on down, I think.
Yeah, and after that, I think the next one is 3-3 is the best. So, yeah, it'll be fun to see how that plays out. So, yeah, but GG's to both of you, and we will see this again tomorrow. Should be another fun race. I'll let you guys, if you have any final comments, I'll let you say them, and then we'll close it up.
No, thank you, Doug. Thank you, Paragon, for tracking and calming this. I'm glad to get a restream with us kind of moving this time at the last minute. And thanks, Shell and Road, for being willing to move the time as well. Yeah, good luck tomorrow.
Charlotte, any last thoughts?
No, man. Good luck. We'll see you tomorrow.
Sounds good. And yeah, I mentioned it during the race a couple times, but shout outs to Paragon again for tracking the solo. Always a hard job, doing much better than I could ever do, and definitely the MVPs of these. So, but besides that, we will still plenty of matches left today, and a lot tomorrow. With the co-op, it's very heavy on the weekend, just scheduling 4 people. A lot of teams went with the weekend spots, so got over the next 2 days, got plenty of action. So just turn on any of the speed gaming channels, basically, and you'll see something. But so then we will see you all next mission.
Take care, everybody.